What is the average rate of change between 3.5 years and then 4.5 years? On the take-home quiz, if you didn't turn that in, first of all, make sure that you turn that in because it's a quiz grade. Some of you have a missing. Actually, you know what? In this class, I think everyone's got it turned in. However, this is the one where most people got wrong. So make sure you're taking good notes on this one so you don't get it wrong on the exam. So I'm going to go to 3.5 years. Remember, that's my x1, and my x2 is 4.5. So I'm going to go to my graph now and find 3.5. So here's what I'm going to do with my green highlighter. Here's 3.5, right here. Well, what's the y value at 3.5? What is this point? How would you read that? 3.5 comma what? I know you're all interested in your highlighters and are staring at them, but please. Yeah, negative 600. Okay? Fell on the ground. Okay, so this is I want to label it x1, y1. I found it. Again, I have this formula, so I'm going to use it. Now I'm going to go to my next one. I want 4.5, which is right here in blue. What is a y value at 4.5? 400. Thank you to the one person that knows it. Okay, all you're doing is you're labeling that point. So here's my x2 and my y2. You just found all four things that you need to be successful for the average rate of change formula. Here they are, all four of them. So now we're just going to go back and we're going to plug it into our calculator. But I want you to make sure that you have everything written down very nicely. So I'm going to give you another 30 seconds to make sure it's all written down so you can use it on the exam. So I would label each point. This is where I got it from, x1, and then y1, x2, y2. Okay? Try to color code things for you so you can see where it's coming from. All right, now I'm going to plug it into my formula. So here's my formula up here, which I will be giving to you. They're the same exact questions on the exam. And I'm going to give you this formula. So I'm going to write it in. I have y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. Well, I know all four of them. I just labeled them over here. So here we go. Let's plug it in. What is your y2 value? Good, 400. What is my y1 value? Good, negative 600. Do you have questions on that part, on where those are coming from? Now here's the cool part, is where you can you can just keep going with the formula, but they should always be on top of each other. So whatever x value goes with 400 is what I should be writing below it. So here's 400. What's the x value that goes with it? 4.5. Minus my x1 value, which is what? Very good. So here's what I want you to do is I want you to take a minute and plug it in and make sure you're able to type this in so that you can ask me a question if you need help typing it in.
Are you doing commas or decimals?
Oh, those are decimals, my bad. Trying to get a new light bulb in here because it's kind of dull. So you type it in left to right. You type it in parentheses 400 minus a negative 600. Unless you know to change it right away to positive, that's fine. But minus a negative 600, close up the parentheses. This guy means divide. Divided by 4.5 in parentheses minus 3.5. I put parentheses in the formula so that when you plug it in the calculator, you don't have any issues. Take a second, plug it in. If you need help, ask one of us.
You said put it in the parentheses?
Yeah, make sure you have parentheses. Anyone need a calculator? Usually I don't hand them out. Usually you guys go get them, but it seems like we're really struggling today. What do you guys get? For a Sour Patch Kid? 1,000. There you go. All right, so 1,000 is the correct answer. Did anyone not get 1,000? Their calculator would like one of us to check to make sure that you're doing it correctly. But did you get the second time? Okay. Yeah, so again, you need parentheses, otherwise it's not going to work, and that's why I put them in this formula for you already so that you can use them. Okay? All right, so I'm going to circle 2 because that's what you're going to do for homework. So although I do 1, you do 1 kind of thing. Now, the nice part about number 2 is that you don't even have to find it. I gave them to you. I already did half the work. All right, let's move on. You guys really liked these ones on your quiz, so we're going to continue with it. Synthetic division, so please flip the page. Divide the following polynomial using synthetic division. So here we go. My first step, again, try your best to take the best notes possible if you're planning on using the study guide on the exam, which you can only do that if you bring that Kleenex box with it. So I'm going to go ahead. My first step is to set it equal to 0. What makes x minus 6 equal to 0? What do I have to do to both sides? Not divide it. I would have to add 6. So I get x equals 6. That's your first step. So I would even mark that's your first step. Because your second step is to set up that synthetic division, which you guys all did really, really well with when you did it. So I'm going to take that that 6, and I'm going to do that little L. And all of the coefficients out in front, 1, -5, -8, 13, and -12 is when we'll be writing. So 1, -5, -8, 13, -12.
Can we do that other way?
Not in this one.
Not this
The
one?
next one we're gonna, yeah. So here is because I'm asking you to divide. I want to know what the actual answer is when you divide it out. But on the next page you can do that. And I'll label that on the test too for you. I'll tell you if you can do direct substitution or not. Now, what would I do first here? Yeah, very good. Bring down the 1. Too many times I've noticed, in this class especially, a lot of people bring down and then they bring down the 6. Well, the arrow is coming from the 1. So make sure you're careful with that. Then I just go ahead and I multiply. What's 6 times 1? Add straight down, you get... Okay, multiply again. 6 times 1 is? Add straight down, you get? All right, you're a rock star. Here we go. 6 times -2. Add straight down. 1. One last time. 6 times 1 is? Add straight down. Good. Now remember, this is your remainder. That's what this guy is. This very, very last one. All right, that was awesome. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's a lefty right there. All right, who thinks they can write this out? Remember how you write this out at the very end. Someone different maybe. Okay, we have our synthetic. It's great. I think you got it.
1
Uh-huh.
cube,
Good. X cubed. Good.
and then squared,
Very good.
and then x. No, wait, there's a -2, so -2x.
Uh-huh.
And then just 1,
Good.
and then the remainder is
Very good. That's awesome. Okay, so that would be my answer right there. Now, so I'm going to circle it. It's asking on this part, is x minus 6, which is what we just found out, is it a factor? Now remember what I meant by factor. 16 divided by 4 is 4, not 4.1 or 4.2. There's no remainder. So what must the remainder be here in order for it to be a factor? What number must the remainder be in order for it to be a factor? 0. Very good. So is this a factor if we got -6? I see some of you shaking your head. No, because it's not 0. The only way for it to be a factor of something is if you get 0 as the remainder. So remainder is not 0. Okay? So again, I'm going to kind of point, maybe put an arrow here for you. Because the remainder is not 0, it was supposed to say not no. That's why it's not a factor. Again, like 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. So that's not a factor. That means that 2 is not a factor of 3. 2 does not evenly divide into 3. That's what you're just telling me here. Okay? We're actually going to skip the next one. I really don't care too much about it. I just want you to cross it out. I'm not going to have placeholders on your test, so I don't want to waste your time. But you should know that you would need placeholders there. But you have to do number 5 for your homework. Okay? So you only have 2 questions right now. Does anyone need me to keep on this page for a second? Or can we move on? We're not going to do all of them today. We got 2 more left. So, this is a part, and I am telling you right now, like, straight up. This is a question on your exam. Like, word for word. The remainder theorem states a linear polynomial, x minus c, is a factor of another polynomial if and only if the remainder after dividing is what number? 0, yeah. Okay, so again, that, I'm telling you, will be a question on your exam. You need to know when you're factoring, if in order to get a factor, it has to be 0. So now here's where I think Katie was asking, can we do that different way? There are 2 different ways to verify that these 2 are remainders. Are factors of the original polynomial. You can either do synthetic, which is that L. Okay, that's the L. I'm supposed to put like a little L so you can see it. Is the L. Or direct substitution is where you're plugging in the 0. Now, here's a hint for you. Well, I want to verify that this is the 0. But look at the answer. I'm already kind of telling you what number you need to plug in. So kind of use those as a guide. So my first step is the same. I'm going to set the first guy equal to 0 to find out what it equals. It's -1. Because when I plug in -1, I get 0. Some of you are very, very good at synthetic, and some of you hate it. You want to just plug it in your calculator because you trust your calculator with everything you have. Be careful with that calculator, though. So I'm going to show you both ways just so that you have it for your reference. Synthetic, I would use that -1, and I would use those coefficients again. So like 1, 2, -1, -2. If I were going to plug it in for substitution over here, I'm taking every x I see and I'm plugging in a -1. So I'm going to set it all up. I'm going to take this -1, I'm going to plug it into wherever I saw an x. Either one works. You can even put like or, because I don't want you to I don't want you on the test doing both of them. You could choose. Do you like synthetic or do you like plugging it in? So right now, make that choice. Who are you? Do you like to do synthetic or do you like to do calculator work? Either one works. You either do synthetic or you do this. So make a choice right now and see which one you want to do. Only doing one more after this, so just bear with me. What do you guys get when you do these, either synthetic or the other way? What'd you get? Well, what did you get though? What's your answer? Yeah, you gotta plug it in. For those that like synthetic, I'll write it out for you. That's not it. For those that plugged it in, what'd you get? I'll wait for you. You got this. Not 2. Try again. 0. Okay. Yeah. So we just realized. So again, it's asking what is the value at -1. Well, when you plug it in, it's 0. And the remainder theorem states that whatever your remainder is, that's going to be your answer. And again, I'm just going to check there because we just proved it. The question just asked, verify that it is a factor. Well, I just did. I just showed you. So I'm just gonna check it out. We did it. Okay, so for that situation, I would want to see either synthetic or I'd want to see this. I want to see that. There's a reason too, because your test, which I didn't tell you yet, is all multiple choice. Because I'm trying to get you used to being a good test taker. Okay, so again, use those multiple choice as a guide. But however, if you don't show any work and you get it wrong, I can't give you partial credit, which a lot of people tend to do that. All right, so we're just going to do one more together. Now, on your exam, I did this for you too, just to help you out because it is a harder chapter, and you guys already did factoring a lot, so hopefully it helps you.
We're doing 7.
Yeah, 7 you do for homework. Sorry, I didn't circle it. So really you only have 3 questions right now. Now here we go. GCF. On the exam, this is what I'm going to do, and I'll even highlight it for you. Okay, I wrote those next to the problems to help you. So that when you're looking at your notes or you're looking at your interactive notebook, you're able to flip to the GCF tab in your interactive notebook. Flip to the quadratic trinomial part of your interactive notebook. Or if you're using the study guide, you'll know which one to go to. So, GCF, we have to find what is the greatest common factor between both of them. What number goes into both 15 and 24?
Not 2.
You're right, not 2.
Well, neither of them are, well, only one of them's even.
Yeah, so you're right. 2 does not work. What's another one?
3.
Yeah, 3 works for both of them. Good. What is the max amount of x's I can pull out? 3 or 2?
2.
2, very good. Because it has to be the smallest, I'm going to put a little note there, the smallest degree so that you don't forget. That's why it's x squared. Think about it. I can't take 3 x's out of 2. I only have 2 of them. I can't take 3 away. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do this problem. I'm going to divide each one by my GCF. And then write it out. Give you a second to write that. Last step here, and then I'll give you a break because I don't want to overwhelm you. I want you to have time to ask questions. What is 15 divided by 3?
5.
Good. What is x cubed? I have 3 of them. Divided by x squared, that 2 that crossed out. How many is left? 1. So I have x. Bring down your minus sign. What is 24 divided by 3? 8. And then look, these cancel. They're gone. Okay, that was canceled. That's your answer. Okay. You have a very long time, a lot longer than my other class, because you guys worked pretty hard. Okay. You have to just do the ones I circled just for tonight, and 9 you're doing. Okay, just so that you can take it slowly and you can ask me questions now. The key is right here if you want to check your answers. Are you done? Yeah, it's pretty quick. You can move on, obviously, if you don't want homework tomorrow. I can circle all the ones that you're going to have to do. You're going to have to do 11 and 13. So it's basically like every other problem you're doing. So if you want to move on because you're done and it's so much time left over, because we're probably going to take a lot of time to do tomorrow because it's a little bit more harder stuff, I would get working on those. So like 15, 17, basically the whole right side. 19, 21, or the odds, that helps you. Okay, so basically all the odds is what you're doing for homework. From 9 on, 7 on, 5 on. So you have to do 2, and then 5 through the rest, all odds. So again, if you want to move ahead, please do so. I'll leave these up.
Is this for credit?
Yes. And almost there, the heart. Getting
It
there.
was easy to do the problems, but it wasn't easy to find out like what shape is
Yeah.
what. That's what confused me. So I was like, I'm not even gonna try it. I'll be for hours.
If you need help, let us know. I'm more than happy to help you. Don't mind me. I'm chugging Mucinex because you can just tell I'm like super congested right now. Mucinex. I can feel it like all right here in my chest. You know?
Yeah.
You're just like, you just chug disgusting. You just-
Yeah, I don't do the drinking stuff. I do like the pills. I can't drink. I'll literally.
I choke on pills sometimes.
Yeah, like, I cannot drink medicine.
I used to like pretend swallowing cheese because like I couldn't learn how to swallow.
I give up.
It was very hard for me. But now they have like a straw thing that like will teach you.
A what?
Like you put like the pill in like a straw and you take a drink of water and it just like goes in.
That's smart though.
And I'm like, I
I
wish
wish
I
that
would have
was
had
mine.
that because that really struggled with me in trying to take a pill.
I
You
put
know?
it on my tongue and
You have to see
swallow
I
it.
have to literally, I have to put it like all
Far
day.
down. You just drop
Like-
it back there. You're like.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's still gas.
I literally just did it. She goes.
What's going on? What?
And then there's Eileen. It's like with a spoon, just like tosses it back there. Hoping it'll go down without her choking.
Please don't. Really? Oh, wonderful.
Wow, I really don't want to do this. Yeah. Really?
So you don't want to
Oh, we'll meet at halftime.
Right. But how are you behind me? Trust me, you should have seen the stack of papers I had at home. It took me like a whole day, Saturday, for me to just get caught up because that's how behind I was.
Wait, would you get for it too?
It's hard.
Like, do you like it?
Like hot one? I like the inner one.
The answer.
I didn't get that far.
Just get past it.
I
and
think
yeah.
I got the
So.
Pass it and move on. Try to enjoy it a little bit. Like, is there anything?
Hey, did you dance? I'll work with you.
Totally different. So that's like computer graphics.
Yeah, we're great stuff.
Your art is different.
Oh.
You said you were
Yeah.
interested in something. I know that you did your brother was in military, right? What are you interested in? Because I can tell you like you should go like. So like you learn how to talk.
I don't like my career. It's felt like I got smarter.
Oh, literally. I think we got her started.
Great.
There's a lesson up in there a lot.
I think she like doesn't let us be smart.
Right. I think she like.
I'm gonna tell you to talk crap about her.
She brings out her confidence.
You're great.
You know, I know.
I have you on recording.
Don't be silly.
Love her voice.
I think you just need to give yourself a second. Here. I know you like the putty, right?
You're like, alright, 2 more weeks.
You keep
Okay.
finding things.
I
What
trust
is that? I keep seeing people with that.
Oh, that thing, I know it's big stuff.
Do you receive anything?
Yeah.
What do you do?
It was,
It, when I am like super anxious, cause I am like
Where'd you get that? I need one of those.
Amazon. You can like, or if you're angry. See, I'm seeing you there, you got scared. Just kidding. See, you wanted to laugh, but you like were fighting it right now. But like, it really gets that like tension
Oh, I got a lot of stuff there.
out. You just wanna like, play with
Oh, you
it.
got that?
Isn't it pretty?
And I gave you the putty and you like that.
Um,
No, I love this because I can really fool it. You can
7?
feel like the, it's kind of like you're hitting something. But it's like, and when you put it together, like, just drop it. And then do math because you're good at math.
Yeah, click on it.
See, doesn't it feel good to do that? I love doing that. Math.
Yeah, I did. I find
Let me know if that works. I literally
slower. Yeah.
Why is that?
Cars.
Okay, I'll
Pushing cars.
Put it back together.
See, it takes some anger to do it. See? Kind of cool.
How much was that?
I have no idea. I got it 2 years ago. It actually helped me because I like it. I get very. He is up there if you count. It really gets like they have to really yeah.
I like
Okay.
it.
It gets in it.
So weird.
It's weird, but it's working. It's very yeah. See, it's better than
Whoa.
yeah. It's better than doing it to your face. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, as I say.
Why did you
It makes you actually like.
So slippery.
It makes you like actually focus and like get angry to push it in, so it kind of releases tension. That's what it's for, is to release tension from you.
Okay, great.
I don't know why.
Oh, okay, so it would be what?
Looks like a little white.
That's okay though.
I'll give you mine.
It's you have to learn to kind of. That's all. There's things like that that help with that.
Would you?
Or people out there that help you.
It's gonna be -4 because it's positive, and then you're gonna subtract it, and then 0
can figure it out.
-4 is -4.
You literally laugh.
Okay, so
you
it would
can tell
be-
that already happened. If you just need the right people around you or something to help you.
Devin.
What?
Number 2.
The one in the hall.
Bring that one to yeah.
And then.
So the video already-
Yeah, that works.
Oh, this.
So
Oh,
the
yeah.
starts at first.
Oh, you told me about this already. I actually know.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
You,
never mind.
you point at me, you laugh at me.
3, and then you do 3
So sorry. I know, but it really makes you focus, isn't it?
You're right.
Oh.
I got one.
You're right. 16.
And
Put it
then.
on your neck.
6 times 6 times.
Go ahead and pinch off.
Oh, just the ones that you need to.
Turn it on.
-40. Gotta try that one again.
It's not 90. That doesn't seem right.
What number did you plug in?
Put in negative.
Or do I put in 4? So it's always the opposite.
We add, right? We multiply. We put 6 down the street.
Let's laugh at
Oh,
it.
you're gonna go in front of us. Yeah. Wait, what am I doing?
He's like starting to talk more.
Devin,
there's a spider in your shoulder. It's like,
Oh wait, restart.
there's so much other things that happen, but I
Yeah,
can't remember. But I'm gonna tell you
Gloria,
this. Like,
X,
funny. So
and
his kid named Ron. He's like 20 years old. Yeah. And he's like 5'5" and really short. It's pretty cool.
I was like, I saw like automatic crap.
Like Devin was like talking to him. He's like, yeah. He's like,
Chair and all of it. I was earning like $3.
How do you get extra on your copy?
Like I press like the button and like at home there's like a spot on an extra.
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
do
Oh,
one.
no, yeah.
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 And that's definitely it's in the
Cute.
making.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So,
in the
like,
making.
Oh, yeah. For sure, yeah.
And
So these things are coming back at
Yeah, you're right, you're right.
Yeah. It's funny because
Is broken.
Oh, yeah.
Gary, my older, she her
Yeah,
husband's a pastor.
3.
I gotta come up with some things like get him up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, Devin,
And we have a
can
question.
you come on like you? He's like, no, but I
Oh,
have to
you're gonna do
seduce
this on
them.
your own.
Okay, come on.
No lie.
If I swing it, will it go?
My mom ate
Should I test it?
Wait, what are we doing?
Get your girls. Come on. What word? Right here. So I'm plugging it in and I don't know how to plug it in.
So X's is
I'm like,
four.
get out of my room. He goes, I'm good.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I'm
we
good.
know
I'm
that,
good.
but like,
I'm like, dude.
well, this could be like hair curling. Should I try it? Okay,
So
call
like,
my hair curling.
so like 4, you good.
I don't know.
I'm good.
So let's do it 4.
And then like, I like mess around with
No,
condoms.
I don't know how to
Press right.
There's messing around like a mother goes.
Yeah, I did that. That's pretty hot.
She said there's a spider in my shoulder.
I'm saying it. I think it's from the Lord. Open it. And then close it. Open it. And then close it. Just open it and then close it. And then close it. I'm like, dude, he's like,
It's
Look at the arrow.
You don't want these X's.
dude, he opened it
So just take
on
off.
the first day. He
So
opened
fancy.
candy bar.
Oh, it's factored.
Took a bite and then threw it on my floor.
Really?
I
turned
cannot.
around. He goes, I don't want it.
Yeah.
Was it really?
I mean, I had like the basic one.
Yeah, me too.
And then,
So
Oh, I
can't-
thought you were gonna like.
Oh, I'll hold it. I'll hold it.
he
Yeah,
goes,
yeah.
I gotta go to the bathroom. Oh, there you go. You know
I felt powerful. Yeah. I feel like it's warm in my hands.
Oh, you're supposed to hold it, I think.
I'll hold it.
He walks over and he's like,
Oh.
Hey, did you get your nails done yet?
Yeah, let's get it.
Wow.
wants to see that. And he goes, well, I
See
didn't
what
do that.
happens when you have a job?
Dude, this kid will
Yeah.
walk around with his hand, just scratch it. And then
My mom just texted me. She's like, you better do
Oh my
pro
God.
kids
I'll
don't
be like,
go
oh,
to
yeah, soap and water.
I'm like, ah.
Those
Right
are
next to
your
that
coming
door,
for the holidays.
turns on the water.
Yeah, but why does he need
stands there.
jobs for what?
And
For the
then
walk-
walks around.
They're off for like 3 weeks.
And then she's like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm washing my hands.
Crazy.
3 weeks? What are you talking about? Oh,
You
girl.
can feel like this kid.
Oh, I'll beat them up.
Actually,
They take my job.
Like, I don't
They get out like a week earlier than we do.
He's like,
Bet.
So you better get in there like ASAP. Because they're what's gonna happen. They're gonna come home for Thanksgiving break. And they're gonna whole week.
And
And
then
that's
that's
why.
why.
So
Oh, they thought.
And it
Oh, they
needs,
thought.
it needs to be before
I
that.
They made me late.
No, dude, I play games.
They thought.
It's 6 minutes fast. She leaves 5 minutes early fast.
They thought they're taking my job. You definitely are lying. 'Cause I'm not doing that. You thought.
You do.
Everyone's doing that.
If your name is closest to the letter Z, the last name is closest to the letter Z.
Turns out my last name's Arpine. I made up a last name, I think.
put that back in.
He's heard that before.
I like to annoy everyone. I definitely cannot put this back in. There we go.
Put it in the wrong one.
It's okay. 4, 2, 1, 3. Everything's fine.
Thank you.
I'm done. You still have one problem. Did you get it?
Well, maybe you'll give it to me tomorrow. Bet you will.
Better.
Bet you will. Have a great day, everyone. Except for me.
It's like a snake.
Nick, what are you looking at?
It's like a site where you can draw pixels and such. On
It's
your
a what?
I just saw a
This-
cheerleader.
Okay, so this is a site where people can place down pixels, and it's like a
Got it?
2,000
Oh, nice. Thank you.
display. And
No
one person
homework
can draw
for me.
little pulse per minute. And this is like what's been doing.
So you like computers? That's pretty intense.
Yeah.
Computers can be stressful if you don't know.
You gotta meet the kid. He's funny.
Do you know him?
No.
I'm the only one who knows.
I'm gonna try. I'm just gonna.
Film.
Dude, what if
I don't know what
this guy?
He's not
You gotta find something that's fun for you.
Aw.
You have to find something.
Dude, I'd be laughing so hard. Hey, just imagine you parked in the parking lot like at night. He pops in nowhere, knocks on the window. You're like, he's like, oh.
He's driving home from work. He's in the back seat.
We're really big creek.
I don't know what's next, so I can't know. I am, that's next thing.
You just look on the employees. If you are not in activity, you must leave the school immediately. So please do not get involved with activity bus. If you're not in activity after school, you must leave the school premises. Again, with that, you guys take care of yourself, and we'll see you all back here tomorrow morning.
When they're hanging out at the door, I'm like, oh. So when I see teachers that let their kids like literally hang out the door, like, it really kills me. And I was a sub, so like, I mean,
In the hall, I quit it like this. Right? I said, with that phone, I'm like, yeah.
Y'all sneak this.
Yeah.
Devin should get there. Wait for the picture.
It'd be like an inside joke. Every time we just walk in, we're like, hey, Dad.
am I still recording?
I don't know. I think so.
Probably can hear us after what we just said.
Yep, it is
Oh,
recording.
no.
Uh.
We said,